We're on today's Wednesday. We normally like to try to do this on Tuesday, but life happens.
We've got a big show for you today.
We do.
Big show.
It's pretty interesting.
Let's jump right into it.
It's going to be interesting.
It is.
Okay, let me stream this to my Facebook people. So title, let's see, I got to get this in here. Ugh. Dan and cat. Oh my God, I can't spell. This is what's hard. They make you do this after you're already live, Oops. Oops, that didn't work. Cat and Dan show. And they make you fill out these fields. Okay, here we go. Save changes. All right. Whoops, what happened? StreamYard has. Click here to reconnect to your destination. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm having trouble with Facebook too. Is it because I'm not logged in currently? Okay.
Facebook was having technical issues.
Oh, is that what it was?
Earlier today, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, try to get me straight here. Okay. So where do you want to start, Dan?
Let's start with the chart that we were just looking at.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to look at a housing completions chart. This came out. Hang on here. Let's see if we can get this up on the screen. There we go. Okay. So
you guys can't see this, by the way, TikTokers, but Facebook people can, and YouTube.
Okay. So TikTokers, here's what we're looking at. It's a housing completion chart that includes single family, 2 to 4 units, 5+ units, and manufactured homes. And it goes back to 1968. And what you can see in the light blue is the 2 to 4 units. And basically, about 15 years ago, they almost completely stopped
building
2 to 4 unit properties.
Yep.
They've just disappeared. And if you look at the chart, there's this light blue that represents the 2 to 4 units, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not building any 2 to 4 units.
There's one new construction that's a duplex in Bremerton right now for $699. That's the only one I know of.
It might be the only one in the area.
Yeah. I saw that they were building some new ones over in Moses Lake probably 6 months ago. So there was a few over there, but yeah, they don't come up. They don't come up very often at all. Yeah.
It's just tough to get new.
I don't know if it's not lucrative or if it just doesn't work because it's tough to get them to pencil when they're brand new.
Right.
So that could be too.
So today we had a great what do you call it? Zoom meeting, right? With the folks that do 5 to 24 units, the lenders. And I just want to throw some of these PowerPoint stuff on this. Just put it up here. You can take a look at it. These guys finance 5 to 24. Yeah, 5 to 24 units, and it's actually really simple stuff. They ask for a profit and loss statement. They're going to ask for determining. Oh, excuse me. Let's go back here. Step 1 is to determine the gross revenue. So you're looking at annual rent, any other income you get, like quarters in the laundry machine, actual vacancy. They have a minimum 5% vacancy factor. And then the second step is just to figure out the total property expenses. So you got your property taxes, insurance, utilities, things like that, right? And the third step is looking at the net operating income. You're just taking your income minus operating expenses. And then fourthly, you take your net operating income, divide it by your debt service, and it gives you a DSCR ratio. So you can apply this to smaller apartment buildings, 24-unit apartment buildings, if you're an investor. And they'll go down to a 650 credit score. So it's not like you got to have perfect credit. But you do need to have assets.
Right.
So I just thought it was interesting to take a look at this, because
do you know what their loan rates are running? Do you know what their rates are running?
Yeah, they were in the depends on the category you fell into in the bucket, but they would 9-ish.
I mean, that's not terrible considering that, most of us are looking at 8 and 8.5.
Right. And the thing is, you're closing in an LLC. So and you can do this loan if you're a foreign national, ITIN loans. You don't have to be a citizen of the United States. It's very flexible terms.
Nice.
So it's an interesting approach. Mr. Fat Tuesday wants in on the action.
Mr. Fat Tuesday, he's decided that it's cold out here, and he wants to nug with his mom. See, little buddy. I know he's got a little top pony and everything. He doesn't want to get down off my lap. But I think he might just be my arm candy for the rest of the show. Little buddy, he's got his
Okay. So we're gonna go to let's go over to the things that you've been working on. Really interesting. You've got and it sort of explains there's not a lot of supply within the fourplexes, right? So if you take a look at the 10-year appreciation of single-family residences versus fourplexes, I think we have part of our answer. I'll let you take it on from here.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have the data for that. Yeah, no, I don't think I printed off the data. I just have the chart with me.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, you know what? Let me go grab it. It's from my last week. It should be on my table. Hold on.
And there's Mr. Fast Tuesday.
All right, I got it. So, okay, got the data here. Okay, I think Mr. Fat Tuesday, you should just go watchdog. Yeah, you go watchdog. Okay, so I have the data in front of me. So Kitsap single family residential increased 123% in the last 10 years.
Oh, I got the wrong stats up.
Kitsap County fourplexes went up 348%. So that's significant, and that's that first set of bars there on the left.
Right. Yep.
Snohomish County residential went up 140%, the single-family residential. The Snohomish County fourplexes went up 155%, again outpacing Snohomish County single-family residential. Pierce County single family residential went up 146% in the last 10 years. Their fourplexes went up 218%. So again, far outpacing single family residential. Interesting. Grays Harbor single family residential went up 168%. Their Grays Harbor fourplexes went up 236% in the last 10 years. So again, outpacing single family residential. So this is quite striking. I haven't pulled further back in time to see how those, or other counties either. So I've just decided to pull these four for now. But I think it would be an interesting study to take a look at some of the other counties around the state and see if that essentially holds true. But yeah. I think the biggest standout is Kitsap County, and I actually didn't believe that data even after I reported on it last week. I went back and I hand pulled it on the NWMLS and took a look at the actual units that were sold this past year, and it holds up. They're just regular fourplexes. So it's, yeah, the data is what it is. So,
wow.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Interesting. I just find it fascinating.
So Kitsap went up, the fourplexes almost 400%.
Yeah, 345%, 348%. Yeah. And actually, when I pulled it on the MLS, it was even a little bit higher. Because I think I ended up including one or two fourplexes that were not included in the original data, because the NWMLS, if you relist after you've reduced price 5%, they'll let you come on as a new listing, but the original cumulative days on market remains. But when it goes to sell, it'll take out those old days that you were on the market. So it'll only count the ones that after you relisted, after you reduce price. So, but I can see those, and I will use that data because they actually have been on the market more than 90 days. So I included those in my new data set that I was looking at today. So it actually ended up being 365%, which was even bigger, a bigger number. So I was like, okay, yeah, no, that's real. That's solid.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
wow.
pretty incredible. I mean, this is interesting data. I mean, it would be fun to pull a couple of the other counties on, see what Vancouver's doing down south. They probably have a pretty good data set. Maybe check what is it? Where's Long Beach? Pacific? I think that's Pacific County. Maybe check Pacific County. Be interesting to see what theirs have been doing over the past 10 years or 20 years. But it looks like multifamily has been a good investment for investors for quite some time. And, the returns a lot of times are on the appreciation. So and those would be measured by your internal rate of return.
Now, the one thing that I didn't get to, that I was trying to get to, but I didn't quite get to, was the hot desert pencil that you sent out this week.
Oh,
now, that was great stuff.
You like that, huh, Dan?
I did. Yeah, I do. It was very good.
Yeah. Well, that was an example. That was an example of how you calculate whether a property pencils or not. And that's just a general it's a general APOD, so annualized property annualized property operating data. That's what that is. So that gives you kind of, what your costs are and what your expenses are and what your operating income is. So very, very interesting. Do you want me to go over that?
Well, it's sort of the same stuff that the lenders are looking at.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go over that.
You want to go over that? I think I don't have that one printed out either. So hold on, let me go grab. Oh, nope, I don't. I didn't print that one out. Okay, let me go grab it, Dan.
Okay.
And I will be right back.
It's about a 5-second lag.
I think the dog ate my homework. All right, so I'm just going to see if I have it written down in my book here. I mean, if I could look at my computer, I could tell you, but we're we're live, so I can't do that. Let's see here. Fine. Can't remember if I just did it on a piece of paper or if I did it in my book here.
Hey, Kat, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
What was it that I was asking you about again?
Well, you were wanting me to run through that example on the triplex,
Oh, yeah.
right?
That was a good one.
So, and I think I just did that on a piece of paper. I think I did that in my book. Let me see if I can find the raw piece of paper that it was on. Shoot. Dan, I can't find it. So I'll just do
Okay.
that another day. I mean, I would have
That's
liked to
okay.
run through the numbers again, but I didn't know we were going to do that. So,
Totally my fault. I am so sorry. My bad.
all right.
Totally bad.
So,
Anyway,
should we run through the data for the counties?
yes. Which one do you want to run through first?
Okay, let's do King County.
Kinky.
All right.
Okay.
King County month supply of inventory 1.5. 33% of sellers set offer review dates. 37% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days if you listed between October 7th and October 14th. 48% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if you listed between September 24th and October 7th. So King County, clicking along, slowing down a tad.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
You could, if you go back about 4 weeks, you could see the slowdown.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, and it's ticking down a little bit, you know, here and there. It's still really strong market for sellers. If you're a new listing coming on the market, it's a strong market for sellers. If you have been on the market for more than 14 days, then it starts to feel squishy. And you're looking at possibly doing offering the buyer a 2-1 buy down.
Right.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. So Snohomish County, 1.3 months supply of inventory. 26% of sellers set offer review dates. 33% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if you listed between October 7th and October 14th. And 44% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if you listed between September 24th and October 7th. So Snohomish County, clicking along about the same as King. Very similar numbers. Very similar numbers.
Okay.
All right, let me do a quick change. Because we're doing counties, I want people to watch my data. All right, we're gonna do my white leather jacket.
Oops.
There we go. All right. So that was Snohomish County. Now let's go to, you want to jump ahead to Kitsap?
Let's go to Kitsap.
All right. All right. Whoops. Kitsap. Kitsap County, 1.6 months supply of inventory. 21% of sellers got under contract. I'm sorry. 21% of sellers set offer review dates in Kitsap County. 18% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. So if they listed between October 7th and October 14th. 46% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market. So if they listed between September 24th and October 7th. So that's Kitsap County.
Cool. You want to go to Pierce?
Okay, let's go back to Pierce here. Hold on. You got me all out of order. Okay, here we go. Pierce.
Sorry about that.
I know. Okay. Pierce County, 1.6 months supply of inventory. 15% of sellers set offer review dates. 34% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. So if they listed between October 7th and October 14th. 42% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market. So if they listed between September 24th and October 7th. And that's Pierce County.
That's Pierce County.
So
How
How about Mason?
Mason? Let's go to Mason.
I want to talk about Mason.
Let's talk Mason.
Okay. Mason County, 2.4 months supply of inventory. 8% of sellers set offer review dates. 20% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market. So if they listed between October 7th and October 14th. And 43% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed between September 24th and October 7th. And there you have it. That's Mason County.
How about Skagit?
Skagit, my favorite county. Has
Oh, it's so beautiful up there.
So beautiful. Okay, Skagit County, 2.3 months supply of inventory. 8% of sellers set offer review dates. 25% of sellers in Skagit County got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed between October 7th and October 14th. 40, oh, wait a second. Yeah, did I say 25%?
Yep,
That's
you
right.
had it. Yep.
43% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed between September 24th and October 7th. So that's Skagit County. And again, you know, the markets are all softening a tad. It's getting
But
a little
you know
rougher
what?
getting a little rougher for sellers the first 7 days.
You're seeing some improvement in the first 14 days for Skagit.
Oh yeah, Skagit and Mason are both 43% have got sellers got under contract within the first 2 weeks. So no one's jumping very few people are jumping that first 7 days on the market. So people are taking buyers are taking a more relaxed approach to looking at homes. And I think that's true.
Maybe it's because up in Skagit, maybe they take their 2 o'clock nap like I do.
Well,
they're just not as
I haven't
quick.
interviewed everyone in Skagit County, so I'm not sure what the napping schedule is like up there. But it's hard to say, Dan. It's hard to say. Okay, we've already covered Kitsap. So I think that's everybody. So we got all the counties.
Yep.
So what are we gonna talk about next, Dan? I think I'm gonna have to put a sweater on. I'm freezing my bejeebies off.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk about next the King County. In King County, how much market time costs a seller? You guys, this is gonna blow your minds. This is so impactful. There is actually a direct correlation between time on the market and how much you get price per square foot. A direct correlation. So I find this fascinating because you know me, I like my numbers.
There we go. Okay, so we're going King.
So we're gonna go King
County.
County. Yep, and I'm just gonna throw a sweater on.
Okay.
Ooh, cool. All right, let's pull this door closed. Tell you what, you guys, I feel like I live in Siberia. No joke there. Okay, got my boxy sweater on. Let's go.
Depending on the time of the year, you're either living in Siberia or the Mojave Desert.
Right. That's kind of my version of what happens around here. You know, because 80 degrees, I'm, melting. And then it gets down to, 45 to 50 like it is right now. And I need my gloves. I need a heater. I had my fireplace going all morning.
Wait a minute. I've got a present for you. I got to figure out how to get it to you. Hang on.
I like presents. Hi, guys. Sorry, I can't see any of your comments because I've got my cell phone recording me behind my laptop, so I can't see any of your comments. Sorry. But thanks for joining.
I've got some gloves for you there, Kat.
You got gloves?
Right there.
Oh, hey, thanks. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that.
I will get them in the mail right over to you.
Get those, yeah. They don't look that warm, though, Dan. They look
they're
more like
working
gardening gloves. They're like gardening gloves.
They're like gardening gloves, yes.
Okay, so this is the deal, you guys. So this is interesting. So if you look at the data, so what I did was I pulled, oops, I gotta make sure my papers don't fly away. Oops. Or I lose my computer off my stand. Oops. Oh my God. Okay. So, oops, am I still stunned? Oh, I went crooked there for a second.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. So this is what I did. I pulled data from June 20th to October 19th for King County. And I used single family, residential, not new construction. And I calculated the average price per square foot for sold listings for that date is for June 20th to October 19th. So, and I calculated the average price per square foot based on the average sales price for each time frame. So 0 to 7 days, 8 to 14 days, 15 to 30 days, and 31 to 90 days for King County. The thing I was not able to do is I was not able to get the 90 plus day data because there were too few homes that sold in that time frame to be meaningful. So that was just, erroneous. So I did not pull that one.
Okay.
You do have to have a
Hang on
certain
just
number. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna throw up the Snohomish in just a second. I'm curious about something.
Well, I want to go. I want to run
Whoa.
through. I want to run through the King County one.
That's okay. Hang on.
Gotta go backwards.
Let's go back to the King County because I just got my answer for. Oh, there's Snohomish. Sorry. All right, King County. Here we go.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. King County.
So the homes that sold, in the last 4 months, right, 120 days, the homes that sold in King County sold for an average price per square foot of $516.
Yep.
If you were on the market so that's 0 to 7 days, right? So if you were on the market from 8 to 14 days, your average price per square foot sales price was $487. That's 5.6% less than if you sold 0 to 7 days. And that equates to, get this, based on an average sales price of $1,128,558, that equates to $63,199 that you potentially could have lost. And that's an average. That means just about half the people got, a bigger hit than that, and about half of them got less. It's not a median, so it's not going to be exactly that, but it's an average. So that's huge. $63,000 is a lot of money. I got to tell you pay for a lot of staging with that.
The one thing that really jumps out on me, and the reason I want to go back and look at Snohomish and then came back to King. Snohomish, you don't pay that big a penalty if you're in the 8 to 14 day bucket, right? It's a little bit of a penalty.
Snohomish is I divided the data differently. I did because there wasn't a lot of meaningful data I can't remember which end, but I just pulled 0 to 14.
Oh, okay.
For Snohomish, yeah, it's different data.
Different day. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking there was a 2% drop in the 8 to 14 day bucket.
Yeah, that was from when we did the 6 months a couple months ago.
Okay.
And it was less than that. To be fair, you guys, it was less than that this time, and so I just didn't feel like it was meaningful. So there wasn't much difference for Snohomish County. I'm talking about 0 to 7 days and 7 to 14 days. It was really, really close. So there really wasn't much of a hit if you sold 8 to 14 days. So I didn't even bother with the 0 to 7 days. It was essentially meaningless.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a big difference in King County.
So there is a big difference in King County, which is why I broke it out that way. So you have to have enough data to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, you got to be on point when you're listing your house in King County.
So 15 around. So for the time frame 15 to 30 days on the market, there was you received 7.8% less for your home on average, which would be $476 per square foot. That would cost the seller $88,027 average. So again, for the average sales price of $1,128,558, that's your average sales price in King County. So food for thought. And then if you stayed on the market 31 to 90 days, 8.9% less average sales price, which equates to $470 per square foot, which equates to $100,444 less for your home sale. Less purchase, less on your purchase, less on your sales price. An average of $100,442 less on your purchase price or on your sales price versus if you sold within the first 0 to 7 days. Because that price per square foot was $516, and now you're looking at an average of $470 price per square foot. So it's very interesting that there is a direct correlation. It is a hypothesis I started with, of course, and that's why I decided to pull the data. I'm like, I think there might be a correlation here, and sure enough, it bears out. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So
sure
if we move on to Snohomish County, let's take a look at that. So I don't want to get in the weeds as to the data sets again, other than I want to say that we broke it into 0 to 14 days, the first 0 to 14 days on the market, 15 to 30 days, 31 to 90 days, and then 90 plus days. And all those categories had a meaningful number of homes that sold, so I could utilize the data. So the first data set, 0 to 14 days, the average price per square foot for sold listings from June 20th till October 19th was $406 in Snohomish County. The average price per square foot I'm getting all tongue-tied. The average sales price in Snohomish County, if your house sat on the market for 15 to 30 days, you receive $398 per square foot. Again, that's an average. That's 2% less than if you sat on that's 2% less if you didn't get under, that's 2% less than if you sold within the first 0 to 7 days, which would cost you $18,399 on an average sales price in Snohomish County of $933,750. So that could cost you $18,399 on average if you sold the second week on the market. I'm sorry, if you sold 15 to 30 days on the market. So the next data point is 31 to 90 days. And if your house sold 31 to 90 days on the market, you got an average price per square foot of $374, which equates to 7.9% less than if you sold 0 to 7 days on the market, which equates to $73,596. So a potential loss of $73,000 on average for the average home. 90 plus days on the market, you would get $360 per square foot, again, based on average sales price, at 11.3% less than if you sold within the first 0 to 7 days on the market. That equates to that equates to $105,794. So 11.3%. That's a big hit. So those are the numbers, folks, and it's a direct correlation. Market time costs sellers money. You need to understand that if you're going to list your home, you do not want to test the market. Don't test the market. Unless your realtor says it's a good idea.
Well,
in which case,
it's like
if it's an appreciating market, then that's different. Like right now, we're kind of coming back down. So this is not the time. Fall is not the time. January, February, March, April.
Well, this is a period of time when the first offer you get probably going to be the best offer.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yep. And so that's, and that winds up being the case a lot of times. You sit on the market and you could see that it's a direct correlation. And they're not small numbers. I mean, fortunately in Snohomish County, it's not too dramatic between 0 to 14 and 15 to 30. But boy, you hit that 30-day mark and, you know, you're doing
It's all
2
downhill.
downs. Yeah, it gets a lot dicier.
Yeah. So the key to it, if memory serves, you got to price it properly. You got to stage properly. New front door helps.
Yep. Wash the windows.
Wash the windows.
Window tracks. Yep. Yep.
Window track.
Hi guys.
Oh, you're getting some viewers on your Facebook.
Am
I'm
I?
not.
How many do I have on my Facebook?
Oh, never mind.
Hi guys. Oh, he's lying. I don't have anybody watching me on Facebook. Kidding. I don't know.
We did, but they signed off.
Oh, they signed on. Oh, that's too bad.
That's
Oh,
a shame.
Facebook peeps, where are you?
Snoozing.
So, yeah. I mean, when you go on the market, it doesn't matter what time of year, guys. I'm always going to tell you should be 100% ready. And you should do all the things. And if there's a special circumstance where that's not the case, I will let you know, because I don't want you spending money that you shouldn't spend. And there are certain times when it's appropriate that you're not doing absolutely everything that I would normally recommend in the case of like an estate sale. I'm not going to have you go in and do a whole bunch of things. There might be some basic things that are still a good idea, like blowing out the interior with Chantilly lace, Benjamin Moore paint, white, painting perhaps the walls and the door trim and the doors, just to freshen it up. Maybe or maybe not replacing carpet.
Would you at least vacuum the carpet?
At the very minimum, I'd have the carpets cleaned, actually. So you don't want to just, you don't want to be that lazy. And in every case, I'm going to say have the windows and window tracks cleaned. I'm going to tell you to have the roof cleaned, the gutters cleaned. If there's any repairs that need to be done on the roof, have the roof repaired. If the exterior needs painting, yes, paint the exterior. So those are some basics that a buyer is going to need. And they're going to, in their mind, if they see that the exterior needs paint, they're going to throw big numbers at that. They're going to start with 20,000. I guarantee it. People start throwing around
the plastic cupboards.
Yeah. Well, don't take the doors off the plastic cupboards. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh, how about an inspection?
Yep, and I'm always going to recommend an inspection, even in an estate sale, because you're going to get beat up on price if the buyer elects to have an inspection. Of course, they will want one. And you're always better off to tackle the big problems before the buyer sees the home. And so I'm always going to recommend an inspection. It's just a very, very good idea. It protects the seller in so many ways. For one thing, you stay in control of the process. You get to pick your service providers. You get to pick the time frame and when it gets done. And at that point, you can have the inspector come back out and re-inspect and make changes to the inspection report. So the inspection report looks cleaner for the buyer. So, having an inspection done for a seller, even if it's for an estate, is very important.
Yeah.
I would say critical. It's going to equate to dollars, lots of dollars. So, and the other thing is too, is if you are going to have it inspected, make sure the house is clean and neat. So, because the inspector is going to take a ton of photos and you do not want a bad looking inspection report, an inspection report with bad photos. You don't.
Oh, you know what else I think is a good idea?
What's that?
You know what else I think is a good idea?
No, Dan, I don't.
I would go with professional photography. Not using your iPhone.
Really? Not using your cell phone?
Not using your cell phone.
Oh, that's a pet peeve of mine. So many agents are using cell phone photos to save money, and I just don't. I can't. I spend $1,200 to $1,400 on a listing package for photos and videos and cinematography for shorts, and it's my money well spent. So.
I'll tell you what, it makes the listing pop.
Yeah, it makes a lot of difference. Professional photography makes all the difference. And you can't green up the grass anymore either. I guess that's an MLS violation if you try to do that. So guys, sellers, gotta water your lawn if you're gonna go on the market. So I'm
Wait
gonna
a
start
minute.
that up again. I'm gonna have to put timers and sprinklers at all my new listings.
Well,
To make
that's
sure they
an
have green
August
lawns.
issue,
Huh?
not an October issue.
That's not an October issue. Nope. Nope. The lawns should be looking better now. For sure.
So if I got this straight, lots of lighting. You want to have professional photography and then staging and no plastic cupboards.
Well, if you have plastic covers, there's not much you can do about that. That's a 1980s thing. I don't. It's gross. I'm sorry.
Well, the 70s had the burnt orange carpet and the avocado appliances, and then the 80s brought us the plastic cover
Yeah, for the low end housing. Yeah.
for the lower end housing. Yes.
Yeah, I had to take all mine out. I had plastic because mine was built in '82, and dang it, it's gross. The style of the house is super cute. It's like a country farmhouse, with double hung windows and lots of windows, and then I added more windows. But with wraparound porches, I got porches on 3 sides and a deck on the 4th side. So I have outdoor living spaces all the way around my whole house. So, which is kind of cool. So it's a neat property, but they did use the plastic cabinets. They weren't as bad as some of the ones I've seen. I think at least mine are particle board, but the trim, I want to say the trim had I think that was like just a plastic coating on the outside of particle board or something like that. It was just awful. So I pulled off all the trim. I just was grossed out by it. But that's me. I like my custom everything if I can afford it. Went to Arvid's, that place that used to sell custom moldings in Linwood. They were amazing. I'm trying to remember what the name of the new place is. Shoot. I was going to give them a plug. They're over in Mukilteo. Shoot, I can't remember. I bought my Dutch door from them recently, and I got a bunch more moldings for the interior of my house.
Nice.
So they picked up Arvid's old. I can't remember what you call the pieces of the blades that cut all the custom moldings, but they bought all those from Arvid's, and now they're picking up where they left off, essentially. So, anyway, if I could remember what the name of the company is.
We will have that for you next week, folks.
Yeah, that's right. All right, what else you got, Dan?
Not a lot.
I'm fresh out.
I'm fresh out too. I think it's a good time to
Are we gonna wrap it up?
wrap it up. Yeah.
It's cold out here. My fingers are cold. It's really cold outside.
Well, let's wrap her up.
Okay.
We had a lot of info this year. Or this week.
This year?
This week.
This week. Yeah, we've only been doing this since you guys. We've only been doing this since like June. So Dan and I we're getting a little better at it. I think we have less kerfuffle doodles at the beginning of the show.
We're trying.
We are trying. It's hard, I never really know if my microphones worked until we check the recordings later.
Yes, I'm waiting for that because I'm hearing a lot of feedback in my earphones.
You know what? You can always use the audio from my TikTok download if you have.
Okay.
You know what I mean? At least, I mean, if your voice showed up really well on mine.
Well, we'll see how it comes out.
We'll see how it comes out. Well, you just never know.
You just never know. Your mics sound great.
Mine, do I sound good?
You sound terrific.
Oh, it's always good to know.
It's on my end. So.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm going
here
to
we
goodbye,
go.
TikTokers.
Goodbye, Facebook. Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye,
Until next
Kenneth.
week.
Bye, Steve. Bye. Thanks for joining. Okay, I guess I got to figure out how to. Whoops.